Hi, friends. This is Sharon. I'm Queen of Courage, and this is from invisible to unstoppable, the courage to reclaim what was stolen. I'm a former podcast host, Queen of Courage, and former author of Fresh Courage in Retirement. And at 78, a woman who is finally visible, sparkling, youthful, and living from my core from what feels like heaven on earth joy. But today I want to talk about something raw, being invisible and courageous. You see, I recently journaled for the first time how much I hate what was invisibility stole from me. The years of hiding the stolen joy, the quiet theft of my essence. How many of you have thought, if you really knew me, you wouldn't love me? I did often as a teenager. We're the ones who harbored a dirty secret, played safe, played small to safe, but what people won't say is invisibility isn't protection. It's a thief that robs your fire, your uniqueness, your right to matter. Today, I'll share my story, call out the lies that keep us hidden, and show you how courage reclaims it all. Because if I can go from being a farm girl in the shadows to queen at 78, so can you. Let's ignite that spark together. Picture this: a 100-acre farm in Royal City, Washington, where Don met milking cows, stacking hay till my arms ached, irrigating crops under a blazing sun, raising chickens and cows like my life depended on it, and in ways it did. We're the ones who grew up in survival mode. Me with one brother and three sisters in a tiny high school class of 25 back in 1965. Church every weekend, feeling different, staying focused on one rule: stay invisible. My oldest sister endured years of domestic sexual abuse from our father, even having a baby by him. To feel safe, I vowed to get good grades, be obedient, don't rock the boat, and most of the time it worked. I was so glad he kept his hands off me. But oh, now I hate what that invisibility stole. The boldness I could have had as a girl, the voice I silenced, the colorful life buried under the shame of a dark secret. That cage followed me. First job in local bank in Royal City for 15 months, then college on a shoestring and a scholarship, working from the office after classes, paying my own way. Nights at People's Bank on second shift, running check sorting machines and IBM computers for 4 years, chipping away at degrees during nights and weekends. And since I like to bake, often grabbing a handful of cookies for dinner on the way to classes. Associate's degree in 79, BS in administration, MA in behavioral science by 1987. Putting on extra weight seems safe too. 19 years at GTE in Everett and Tampa, and then even Dallas, working corporate jobs, climbing the ladder in silence. There were travels to Australia, Switzerland, Alaska, Hong Kong, Mexico. They sparked glimpses of possibility, but I stayed guarded. I collected words of wisdom from store signs and the books I read by giants like Napoleon Hill, Wayne Dyer's Possibility Thinking, Brene Brown's Vulnerability, Anita Morjami's near-death experience, Bruce Lipton's Belief Rewiring, Stephen Covey's Habits. I wove them into colorful art blocks, hinting of my fire inside. Toastmasters and Dale Carnegie classes and Boeing polished my words, but I still hid. Then retirement changed everything. No structure, no identity. I became confused. How would I know if I'm productive? Invisibility had stolen decades, my sparkle, my impact, the heaven on earth living I craved. When a new profile called me an influencer, I laughed. They sure got that wrong. Me, the invisible one? But bit by bit, using my faith, I took baby steps. First, accepting a podcast guest invitation. That sparked hosting my own 50 podcasts. I posted about wisdom in my art blocks on YouTube and now on LinkedIn and Facebook. Wrote Fresh Courage in Retirement on Amazon. And when I refused to live life based on fear, it took 15 years off my appearance. I never spent a night in the hospital. By being mentally strong, healthy, faithful, and always single, now my days feel right because I'm inner directed from my soul. What people won't say, being invisible steals your authenticity. It robbed my uniqueness, my joy, the chance to inspire. But courage, now that's the thief's worst enemy. Old retirement advice tells us relax, downsize, travel, golf, babysit grandkids. That's the myth. It's fear-based and peddled by financial gurus and glossy books. It sells safety, but ignores the theft. Relaxation without purpose turns into regret, a slow death at the core. Hobbies won't fill the do I matter hole. What people won't say, if you stay invisible in retirement, fear wins, stealing your potential, your impact on the world. But here's how I think. Potential intrigued me from a childhood. Behavioral science taught me to spot uniqueness, like I see in you now. Faith and near-death experience stories prove miracles and what's possible. Using Napoleon Hill's persistence, Norman Vincent Peale and Wayne Dyer's possibility, combine that with grit, and you reclaim what's stolen. Now, as a natural encourager, I love bringing out the best in others by defining your true self, be authentic, and courageously be your best, like I did, feeling like I defined my soul and started living from my core. We're the ones who milked cows at dawn, stayed obedient to survive, climbed the corporate ladders, and now we're the ones refusing to let being invisible steal one more day. Remember back when the Peace Corps started and the courage and energy it stirred up? We were there when it started. Now it's our time for giving back and unlocking sparks with potentially thousands of others who are ready to shine. Now, I've created many tools to help you be courageous. My book, my podcast on YouTube, and even a Spark program. Because I've lived the theft, hated it, and transformed it into Sparkle at 78, I can see your uniqueness when you can't. Encourage your fire with faith and wisdom. And discover your spark, rekindle your joy. I teach you how to define your true self. Live authentically and courageously be your best, turning voids into heaven on earth joy. Friends, do you hate what invisibly stole from you? Let's courage reclaim it. Refuse fear. Take baby steps and ignite your spark. Let's be unstoppable and visible sparks. Thank you.